things have gotten very bad. Drought is an equal opportunity disaster for everyone. The livestock, the wildlife, the people are trying to scratch out a living, and it's basically impossible to do so because there is no vegetation on the bare soil.
And give our viewers some context, some understanding of the causes of this drought. How much is human behavior playing a role?
Well, dry seasons occur routinely in semi-arid areas, and droughts occur when periods of rainfall are missed. So it's quite normal on a 5-10-year cycle to have periods where 1 or 2 rain events are lost. But what exacerbates the situation in this case is poor government policy and human behavior that has really damaged the landscape, so that when the natural dry periods occur, then the land has been over-harvested, and the animals, both livestock and wildlife, have a hard time.
What kind of impact is this having on tourism? This is an important source of income for Kenya. How is the industry being affected?
Well, the industry has been affected mainly by the global decline due to the recession. So fewer and fewer tourists are coming, and that means there's less income flowing into all the families. You know, most families that are pastoral have some members of their families working in ecotourist lodges, so they do derive some income, which helps support the family so they can buy food supplements and send children to school. But when that income dries up, then they're completely dependent on pastoralism, on herding, and as the herds dwindle in size because the animals get sick, then the catastrophe increases.
What more, Dan, can be done, and is whatever is being done by Kenya, is it enough, I mean, in terms of conserving water and trying to save wildlife?
Well, it's a very complicated process. I mean, obviously water is very, very important, and now there's many uses for the water. Agriculture uses water, flower farms use water. There's many more stakeholders now drawing on traditional sources of water, so there's less water in the rivers getting to the areas where the pastoral people will graze their herds. So given that the herds then are concentrated around water sources, then they overgraze those areas, and that leads to land degradation. So the lack of water, the lack of rainfall causing the peripheral water sources to dry up, the lack of water in the rivers means that you've got intense use of the few areas where there is water, and that leads to overgrazing and desertification.
All right, Dan Rubenstein, thank you very much.
My pleasure.